October 9, after months and months and months of planning and organizing, we put 671 empty chairs down the middle of Manitou Avenue and photographed it. The resulting photograph shows Manitou like it's never been seen before. And the effort to put it on required an entire community to get behind it and allow it and participate in it. We put all these chairs, over a half-mile long, down the middle of Manitou Avenue. And I think that qualifies as the biggest artwork ever created in this area. And it probably involved more people to create the artwork. I would say maybe close to 400 people were involved. And now we have something that will go out and reach hundreds of thousands of people. And through the images and the stories and word of mouth. But I'm really interested in what comes next, how to maximize and continue to draw benefit from this. The process of making this thing has been kind of long and a process of discovery itself. But throughout it all, it's been guided by this one idea that is sort of simple to understand in a way, of the line of empty chairs in a single row, all facing east, and all the chairs coming from Manitou. That idea, what people could latch onto, has really helped the whole project. There are many things that happened since then, though, since we started floating that idea. We started to expand into education in schools. We developed a business program to benefit, engage businesses. We started to employ all kinds of other artists. We employed photographers and musicians and puppeteers and dancers and opera singers. There's so much that grew out of this thing that I couldn't have predicted, but was happy to, as we were designing this thing on the go, we're just happy to incorporate and explore and invite all kinds of new opportunities. Again, we're just looking to increase the benefit for all the people we can, especially in these economic times. It's a great goal and achievable goal to employ so many people. But if I could not at all predict how big the project would be, how smoothly it ended up going, and all the other benefits that seem to be coming from doing it. It's a kind of an amazing thing. I'm still shocked by it, but there's still a lot to do, and we're continuing to try to leverage this thing forward, ratchet it forward, and just do all we can for arts in the community and Manitou in this case, and I think the Pikes Peak region in a much larger sense. If any benefit comes from this, it has to do with an idea of organizing existing things. Just kind of recognizing that resources for creative opportunity and possible benefit can come from just everywhere around us. The participation level in making this artwork is pretty broad. Then the other part of it is who on the planet can relate to some of these images that will just start floating around the planet about this community that got behind this art concept. One of the things that's really interesting that came out of this so far is that the Manitou, the Chamber of Commerce and Economic Development Corporation of Manitou Springs, has decided to change their marketing strategy, and they want to use images of the installation on their travel brochures. And they're going to market Manitou as a tourist destination for art tourism. And that's kind of that's a little bit of a ground shift. That's kind of quite special, and it came about as a result of this whole effort and the images we were after, and then the deeper concepts about it. This really was a community making an artwork. In the months of describing this artwork to people as we were trying to raise funds and interest and engagement, the idea could be understood in many different ways. People could latch onto it, or parts and pieces of it. Many people tried to change the artwork into something else that would satisfy them, and it was an interesting process to go through that. But when the chairs were actually in place, and I kind of realized that 10 minutes before the curtains opened, so to speak, 10 minutes till 7 that Sunday morning, I realized we had enough chairs, and the weather was going to work out, and everything was going into place so smoothly. I couldn't believe it. Everybody was cooperating. There was this goodwill thing that was just happening. And in addition to all of that stuff, I got a moment. I had lots of duties that morning, but I got a moment to be walking in the street alongside all the chairs. And I'll tell you, there was something remarkably special about that experience. The project, for me, has this question that kind of leads it out there. And the question is, can art make a difference for a community, large scale? Can art benefit the community that supports it? Can we, just as a collective, do things that will help us in the future? Will it make life more meaningful? Will it actually generate some sustainability for our social systems? These are sorts of questions that lead me throughout all of this. I don't have the answers for them, but this is really a cool thing to find out. It's very exciting to see what might come from this.